We haven't forgotten who keeps us in business.
Welcome back to 2 News at 10 o'clock. Glad you were with us tonight. All right, person to person. This is a rags to riches story that may sound to you like a fairy tale come true.
Tonight, Shauna Lake sits down with successful entrepreneur Amy Rees Anderson, a woman who has proven that the American dream is alive and well.
Amy Rees Anderson was a single mom of 2 when she founded MediConnect, a medical record retrieval company, in 1996. Under her leadership, the company became one of the largest health information exchanges in the world, employing well over 1,000 people. In 2012, she sold that company for $377 million. Today, Amy is active in the community and works one-on-one with mentoring and consulting other entrepreneurs. So Amy, thanks so much for being with us today. Tell me a little bit about, I mean, you are crazy successful and you're young. Tell me about
Not that young.
your right.
You know, I didn't set out to go into business. I grew up with a family of 10 kids with a mom that stayed home and took care of her kids, and that's what I wanted, to be honest, in my life. But I went to college and found myself getting married young and starting to have a family young and needed to be able to support that family. So I went to work initially to support myself and my kids.
So it's never like you were a gung-ho businesswoman. It was more a means to an end for you.
Yeah, for sure. It was more a way to feed the kids, and I hated leaving them with sitters, and I thought the only way I could not leave them with a sitter is if I do it from home. And it quickly turned into not so much at home, but at least because it was my company, I could take my kids to work every day.
What was your first company?
It was a medical software company. So always in the medical field. I, in high school, worked in medical offices, and when I was going to BYU, worked in medical offices. So I knew that space and that industry, and it just was natural for me.
When did you start seeing the success, or did you just feel like there was a smarter way that you could do things?
It was really just that aha of, hey, this is an easy fix using technology that just hasn't been adopted. And so that's kind of how I started implementing new technologies and going down that path.
But wasn't it unusual for women, especially in that era, to even be thinking about using technologies?
Yes, it was. I mean, I remember the first time I ever went to the conference, the big technology conference in Vegas, and all of a sudden I looked around, I was like, wow, I'm the only woman here not working as a booth babe, you know, at the trade shows. And I thought, I guess I didn't realize there was so few women in technology at the time when I was younger. I just assumed that there was.
Did you ever feel overwhelmed, like being a woman in a man's world, so to speak?
Never from that. Overwhelmed just being a woman with, you know, kids and work and all those things. That's just overwhelming. I think we carry a lot of those things around. But never did I sit and think, I don't belong here. I just thought, it's interesting there's not more women here.
Did you ever use that to your advantage?
For sure. Absolutely. I mean, people always say, oh, is it negative being a woman in business? And I'm like, are you kidding? It's great. You know, anytime you're a big fish in a little pond, you can use that opportunity to parlay your careers.
And you became a single mom.
I did.
Tell me, like, kind of what happened there.
My kids were very young when I got divorced, and it was scary. I don't think there's anything more motivating than wanting to feed your kids. It was hard. You know, I learned that there's a lot of things you have to just let go. House isn't always going to be clean. You're not going to have everything perfect, and that's okay. You just have to throw your hands up and say, okay, I'm going to do the best I can. So it was tough, but I had a lot of people around me that helped.
So you sold your company for millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
It made you a very wealthy woman. How does having that kind of wealth change a person?
I hope it hasn't changed me at all. You know, I wouldn't want it to. And I think, if anything, sometimes it changes some of the people around you. Where they think you're going to be different, so there's like that kind of wait and see. And at our house, I don't think that anyone that knew us before and knows us now would say that hopefully we're the same. And I hope that I never change that. I wouldn't ever want to change that, because money doesn't make you. It's not what defines who you are. It shouldn't, and if it does, that's problematic, because it can go away at any time.
And what do you do for balance?
I love that question. Everybody always asks that, and I am so bad at it. I thought when we sold the business it would be really easy to slow down. You know, I thought, oh, finally I can slow down. And the day after I finally transitioned out, you know, it took a little ways to get all transitioned out, but once I was done, the next morning I was up at like 6 a.m. So I'd never had a situation where I didn't have to work, and I didn't know how to not work. So it's been interesting, and it's still a struggle.
And one last question.
Okay.
You've had a lot of success, but I bet you've had a failure.
Oh, for sure.
Somewhere
Tons.
along the way.
A million.
What's your biggest regret or failure along the way?
I think the biggest regret is that you can't get your time back. Luckily, I learned it before my kids got too old, but when they were really little, there was times I would miss the little parade, the Halloween parade at school or whatever. And at the time, you feel like whatever you're taking care of is so critically important that the world would blow up if you don't handle it. And that's just not true. It's not. Life goes on. People get over it. You can fix it tomorrow. So I think that's the biggest regret, is just those, not learning that younger in life, and those times that you miss something that you really can't get back.
Amy, it's been so nice meeting you.
You too.
Person. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Wow, that is so interesting. I loved what she had to say there in the end. For additional parts of Shauna's interview with Amy Rees Anderson, visit our website, KUTV2.com.
Person to Person is every Sunday night on 2 News at 10. It is sponsored by Zions Bank. Yeah, the world will not blow up if you just kind of take some time, get your priorities in order. That was really, it was a good interview.
Yeah, I feel so much more
She's a woman.
inspired now.
Yeah.